Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Codependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and I got Jarrod with me tonight.
Hello.
Aaron's busy, and Dave's getting ready to go home to England, so we're just us on
Just
Thursday night.
the original crew.
The original crew. Do me a favor and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no hyphen. And it's been a little while. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, we've all been pretty busy.
But, if you miss our voices, you can always hear us weekly on the Couch Co-op Show. That's our beer podcast, and that's Couch Co-op Show. So you just add an H in there, and then bingo, you found us.
Very complicated. Be careful.
But yeah, I wanted to get together, and we haven't killed this podcast, listeners. I know a lot of people still listen. We're still around. We're just, I don't know. Jared's probably the only. Well, I've been playing video games pretty consistently lately, but I feel like Dave and Aaron have slowed down quite a bit.
Well, Dave beat a game recently, so there's that.
That's true. He did. You let him borrow some games, but
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I just get I don't play for weeks, and then I just start playing a lot, and then I stop. That's kind of my new thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been playing less during the week, trying to go to bed a little earlier because holiday season with my industry is pretty brutal.
Right.
So, yeah, I've mostly been doing my gaming on weekends.
Well, as you may have noticed by the title of this episode, it'll be the Gardens of the Galaxy episode. And I wasn't initially going to play this game. When they announced it, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't look interesting."
Yeah, I think I was the only one on the couch that actually said, "Hey, that actually looks really cool. I'm interested to see where it goes."
Like a lot of other critics or people that you probably listen to. Having played that Avengers game by Crystal Dynamics that was published by Square Enix, I was like, oh, this looks like Eidos Montreal is just going to make their kind of push out a version that's like the Avengers. Though, at that time, it didn't have any of the always online stuff. So, that was a leg up. But I just felt like, I didn't really care for that Avengers game. I didn't really like the way it played. The story was okay. I didn't get through it. I kind of just tapered off on it. So I wasn't super excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, but when it came out, man, random people on Twitter and everywhere were just super hype in the game. So, and I wasn't playing anything at the time, so I was like, I guess I'll give it a try.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you did. I want to pick it up someday. Maybe it'll be a Christmas gift this year.
And I have to mirror all that hype that's floating around on the internet for this game, all this love. It's there 100%, man. I was blown away by this game. The story and the characters and the writing. Everyone says the writing, and that is 100% true. It is, honest to God, funny. The jokes hit. They're funny. I found myself laughing a lot. My wife even laughed at some of the jokes as she was just kind of watching over my shoulder. I thought that was pretty funny. And she's not even paying attention the whole time. But, the characters, they're slightly different than the movie characters, but they're still pretty much the same kind of character. Even though the designs are a little different and the voice actors are different, they're still kind of the movie characters. So, even if you didn't know what was going on in the game, in the story, if Drax makes one of his kind of monotone kind of comments, you're going to laugh at it because that's just how the character kind of is. So I think that's, I think that says a lot about how well it's written. So just random people can, you know, laugh at it. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. I think a lot of people. Now, when I bought it, it didn't have. It just got patched this week for the ray tracing, and I did boot it up to check that out, and it is again even more beautiful than I had, than it was just on base PS5. But I'm just I really enjoy the combat. I enjoyed. Actually, I got, let's see, 23 hours I think I spent in the game total. I could easily have kept playing that game. Like usually those type of games, like, I kind of like, I don't know, I'm ready for this to end.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no doubt.
I was totally, I could have kept going, and I think it had a lot to do with the characters. I really enjoyed just hanging out with the characters, and yeah, I'm really impressed with the game. It's super high on my game of the year list. Like, I haven't really whittled down the games, but it's definitely in contention because just how well it plays. No bugs. I didn't have any bugs. No crashes. Looks great. The music is great. Obviously, they pick a lot of original type music that I think really fits the the game. So I don't know if you have any questions about it that I could answer, Jared, but I really liked it.
Like a lot of adventure action type games, there's a lot of just filler content. Does the game have much, like, just go do this, go do that, or is it just pure story and just go through very linear adventure?
There is some, like, it's pretty linear action adventure game. There are some little small, like, flashback scenes, but then they again also then eventually tie into the story. So, like, at first it seems like, what am I doing? But it's all part of the story. So there's nothing like go collect random. I mean, it's not like that kind of RPG ish collect
Go
items.
collect 5 pelts.
No, it's nothing like that. Um, it's way more, like your Naughty Dog games, like Uncharted or something like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
the
I've been interested since day one, and I still am.
the combat's really interesting. I mean, Star Lord has these little lasers that he fires, and but they don't do a lot of damage. Your team is always with you, and they do the most damage. And it's kind of like Mass Effect in the sense that you will fire, and then you'll give them a command. You'll like lock onto an enemy. You'll give them a command. They'll fire they'll either do like a stun or a trap or like a big attack, and then you just kind of combo the other teammates onto the enemies, and then they have cooldowns, so you kind of have to be,
Is
judicious.
is that similar to like Mass Effect where you use the D-pad or something like that?
Uh, kind of. You don't use the D-pad, but you do, like, what is it? I think L1, and then you just select one, and then a button push. It's a
Oh,
similar
okay.
kind of, like,
It's like a weapon select, but
yeah,
the
it's like,
weapon is the other character.
exactly. And then they'll
Okay.
say something, and and then it's just, you kind of like can really just, like, at first you're trying to get used to it, and the attacks aren't super strong, but at the end, man, you're just like destroying. It's super cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm interested when I play to see how those huddles work out.
The
There's
the
yeah,
the huddle's interesting. I
they're
used it a
like
few
power plays.
at first I used it quite a bit because what it does is it if you're getting your butt kicked, you can, and your specialist charged, you do this thing called a huddle, and it pulls all the team in, and then you have to listen to them, and then you pick a choice. You're trying to, like, figure out what they're talking about, and you have to, like, convince them, like, hey, no, this is what we should be doing by what they're saying. And
Yeah,
if you
that's cool.
successfully do it, it basically makes everyone super powered charged, and then that way they don't go into cooldown, so you can just keep attacking without having to wait. So it's like
Yeah,
a
is that just a bar to fill, or is that like on a boss specific kind of a thing?
no, it's all throughout the game. It's like a bar that fills. Like, it just
Okay.
lets you know that, like, oh, your huddle's ready.
Yeah,
So
just a
yeah.
power meter.
But I found I used it quite a bit in the beginning when I was trying to get used to the combat. Towards the end, I didn't use it that much unless I just really wanted to wail on a boss. But yeah.
But did you feel it's got the problem with like the Destiny problem where you get your super and you just hold on to it until there's a big battle, or did you just have fun with it in the
No,
beginning?
I think the problem with it, and I think you'll hear this, it's one of the kind of the problems with it, is that it does take you out of the gameplay
Yeah, of
for a
course.
long period of, because you're literally it pulls you out and you have this like conversation for like 30
Yeah.
seconds, and it's just kind of like, unless was really gonna like go down and I needed like power, maybe I had a couple characters were like out and I had to go res them, and I was about ready to go down. I'll hit it and then it'll recharge my group and everything. But generally, if I was in the battle and I was doing fine, I just wouldn't bother with it. I think it's a cool idea. I just think it's something maybe needed to be thought out a little bit more, because I don't know, you want to stay in the game.
Yeah, I could see him doing like a option where you could just shorten it or just do automatic power up kind of a
Right.
thing, or just make it like to a timed button push or some garbage like that. I mean, there's ways around it, but I'm glad they stuck with their guns at the start, and this is what they did. I'm curious what kind of legs this game has. If they're gonna do like DLC missions or additional. I mean, the Guardians, they don't have a bunch of additional characters that I know of. Not that I've ever read one of their comics or anything, but according to like the movies and this game, they're the same similar characters. So
Well, there's
I
quite
don't
a.
know what kind of DLC they could do with new characters or anything.
I mean, I don't know if they would add characters per se, but I think they would. They would, bring other of the Marvel cosmic characters in and have storylines with other cosmic. I mean, because obviously
Yeah, yeah,
Nova Corps is
that's
in
true.
it. Um, Cosmo, the Russian dog, is in it. There's
Yeah,
different other Marvel characters, space characters in it. I mean, maybe they could add a playable character.
Howard the Duck, bring him in.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
cool. But I mean, I would totally do like some kind of story based DLC. I would totally pick it up.
yeah.
But uh, the game itself, as far as, I mean, there's not. I mean, there's a new game plus. So you go back through it on hard. You can platinum it. But other than that, the game, it's pretty tidy. Um, there's not much to do after it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Is that one that you looked at the platinum to see if you wanted to go for trophy hunting?
Here's the problem with the platinum that I found out, and I don't know if they're gonna fix it. If I had wanted to platinum it, I would have needed to follow a trophy guide through it, not to miss any of the collectibles. Because at
Mm.
the once you get to the end, you can select the chapters and go back and collect things, but it doesn't carry over when you start another chapter.
Oh,
So
interesting.
so you would have had to have hit everything within the story. And I don't know if that was, they did that on purpose so people have to play through it again or whatever, but yeah, so it's not like I'd have to like go through it again.
Okay, but it's not like a difficulty.
No, there's
Like
no
yeah.
difficulty. No, just having to play it again. So maybe in a few years
Okay.
I'll play through it with a trophy guide and get everything. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll keep my eye on that when I get it, because I mean I think I'll have a lot of fun with it. I've only watched a couple of videos on it, like the original gameplay reveal and like the second one probably that they released.
Mm.
Just quick samples, but I haven't really dove in to spoil it for myself because I don't know. I think I'll really enjoy it because I am very big fan of those first movies, and I
Oh
know
yeah.
they're not the same characters and different writers and all that stuff. So, just the characters themselves, I'm really interested to see how they did their take on them.
Right. And I will say this. I mean, for the most part, they're still kind of the same character. I will say though, I think this Star Lord I like better than the Marvel Universe Star Lord. I think he's a little more. He has a lot more heart. This game has a lot of heart, man. And you would think, well, that's impossible because the Guardians of the Galaxy in the movies have a good amount of heart. But
Yeah.
I just think it. I feel like there's just better chemistry overall. I don't know. Maybe because this game gets to spend its story in 20 hours, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy is like 2.5 hours, so they have to like pack a lot in there. This gets to breathe a bit more, so you get to kind of spend time with these characters more. So I feel like it just, they all gel together better. So
I just like the fact that in this current state of affairs, like I don't know many people that actually knew the Guardians of the Galaxy and or even talked about them or anything like that. But now there's like two movies, a huge game, and it's like, oh, okay, nobody really knew about these people, and now they're massive,
It's
and
true.
everybody's having a great time with it. It's just such a cool thing, and I can't wait to see like the new movies and all that stuff. What kind of spin-off games they're going to do with that? I hope not all of them will be good, of course,
No, we'll see.
but some of them might be.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, that's the movies, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say the cool thing about the game is that they're always constantly talking to you. There's always chatter going on. I mean, it does
Well,
kind of repeat once in a while, but generally there's just a lot of, you know, it's just funny. There's constantly talking going on, so you don't feel like you're alone in the game.
yeah.
It's very cool. So
That's great.
I
Yeah,
recommend it 100%.
I'm glad you had a good time with it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's my little review. So hopefully someday when Jarrod plays it, we can talk about it some more or kind of
Yeah.
follow up. But I've been talking a lot. So Jarrod, what's something you've been playing?
So this last weekend, man, last couple of weekends, I don't know why, I just have been in a Mario mood.
Okay.
Because like last year or 2 years ago, or something like that, I bought Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe,
Okay.
and I played a little bit of it with my daughter, and she ended up just going through and beating the game herself. So now I'm going through and beating that. So I'm most of the way through that. And also on that turn of the page, I've started my own save file of Super Mario 3D World, another Mario game.
Right.
I haven't tried Bowser's Fury yet. That one, both of those are in the same cartridge, and they came out this year. So that's the current one. And I also pulled the Wii out, and I've been playing Mario Galaxy. So I'm just kind of going all over that inside. So like my PlayStation, I haven't been playing much on that. It's been a toss up between those three games, and I've been playing PC stuff out on my in my garage with Xbox Game Pass.
The old garage PC.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this thing is chugging along. I can't play modern stuff, but there's a lot of indies that I can play. So that kind of where I've been at this point.
And what I wanted. I mean, I played Carry On
Yeah,
quite a ways back, and that was one of the games I recommended you should play because I thought it was super just kind of different. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
yeah. Carry On is really interesting. Um, I don't know. It was really good. What I was most impressed with is in the style of like a retro, maybe 16-bit. The animation in it was really well done when it came to like the tentacles and all that weird, twisty, crazy stuff that it was just kind of splashing around. Even like the blood junk stuff that was splashing on the walls from the uh, whatever the creature is that you're controlling is just like everywhere you touch, he leaves a trail, and that's pretty cool. And as you get used to the controls, and you just like grab somebody and you slam them up and down against the walls and stuff like that until they, can't get back up to shoot you with their stupid guns. And like you think somebody's out, and they'll like raise their shield and then get up. So you're like, what the hell? And like some of those enemies were just kind of a pain.
Okay, for
It took
sure.
a while to get used to dealing with those, but overall, like the puzzles were really good in the game. I mean, it ended up being pretty linear overall, but if you got lost, you really got lost. I mean, because you can backtrack to some of the older areas and just kind of forget where you were. So that is one of the downfalls of it. I mean, it's only a downfall because there's no map,
Right.
because I like a good map when I'm playing like a Metroidvania. I guess you could kind of call that, because you do break like these biohazard containers open and crawl into them for special upgrades to your character. So I'm and as you get bigger, it becomes harder to get through smaller spaces,
So you have
like control wise.
so you control humans to do things. I thought that was cool. I don't know.
Yeah, controlling the humans is fun. Just like if you can get one right, you can just go massacre everybody and clear the path for yourself, and then hit the switch. It's pretty nice. Instead of just sneaking by them, you can just eviscerate everybody.
I like the sound of the game too. Just kind of,
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought,
yeah. Everything was like top notch, high quality. I mean, that a Devolver? Yeah, that's a
yeah,
Devolver published game,
right.
and yeah, those guys just rock. Like they pick the coolest developers to publish games for, and
I don't think I've, I'm,
they
I'm,
really let them go with it.
I'm not really into those games generally. So like the
Yeah.
fact that I like, just it's all aesthetic. The whole thing, just the sound and the creature and the way it was kind of different, is what kept me with the game. Like, because I don't know, a lot of those just your guy, you run around, you jump, you get a new weapon, and you shoot things. I don't know. I kind of get just I get bored of that. But the creature thing, I just thought it was weirdly interesting. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because you don't really get like weapons or anything like that. Like one of the forums, you kind of throw this sticky spider webby stuff at them, and they stick to the walls, and then you can just move along and do whatever else you need to do, and then go eat them or whatever. Because you eat them to get your health back, so that's pretty cool. And uh, you know, it's mostly just slamming around. Eventually, you get like you hold a button and you get spikes all over yourself,
Right.
so you can just like fly through the enemies and just destroy them. It's pretty sweet. Though there's only like a few hard enemies, like the mechs. You have to be careful around because you have to tear pieces off of the machine before you can get to the person inside.
All
So
right.
I
Forgot about
found
that.
that pretty interesting. Yeah. And like the drone type things, you just have to grab one and just start swinging it around till it gets blown up. And it's pretty cool.
It's not a very hard game or a very long game, but
No.
I think it's a very cool game. I think like I dug it. So
Yeah. I mean there was a few rooms that took me several tries of dying
right,
and
right.
stuff like that. It's kind of a pain if you forget to save or crawl into one of the holes to uh somewhere closer to you because it will send you all the way back. There's no checkpoints or anything like that. That was kind of annoying sometimes. They're like, oh, okay. Oh, I should be able to handle this room. Nope. Here's a whole bunch of shit flying at me. Okay, cool.
What
Yeah,
else?
so
You also beat Hob, man. Another one of my deep recommendations from a while back.
yeah, Hob has been one that I've been interested in for a long time. I even got it free, I think, on the Epic Game Store once.
Yep.
But this computer barely runs it and it chugs. So I bought it on the Switch for like $2 or $3, I think it went on sale for. And it ran really great on the Switch. Well, I don't know about really great. It did have a lot of slowdown and stuff like that. I don't know if
It had slowdown
it's
on the PS4. When I got it, it was a little
okay.
rough there too.
Okay, and I'm assuming it's on all versions, but when you see creatures and stuff like that in the far, far, far background, they're just extra, like almost like 8-bit pixelated. It's
I
pretty
don't remember
wild. Like,
that.
yeah, so I don't know, like anything really deep in the background that's moving just looks like it's a 8-bit character. It's very, very pixelated, very low res. It's pretty interesting how that's done. I don't know. Again, it's on the Switch, the definitive edition, so it's hard to say what the game is supposed to look like because it's on the Switch. That's 5-year-old cell phone hardware, pretty much.
I just liked how you would like unlock it and then the world would transform. You go underground or I don't know. I just thought
Yeah,
the world was really cool in the game.
yeah, that was cool because as you're wandering around the world, there's a lot of like pits and like things. You're like, oh, I wish I could get over to that one place. And then you find like a little dungeon to crawl around in, and you flip some levers and throw some switches, maybe get a new power up, and then all of a sudden, like all these different pillars and all like land masses are leveling out the playing field up above, and you get to watch that, and it's so cool to watch that. It's I've never seen a world kind of really fleshed out like that,
Right.
where everything just fit into place in such a cool way, and there's we like gears and stuff like that you get to see move when it happens, and it's just really super cool. And uh, I mean, if you see the game on sale or it's free or whatever, you got it free a long time ago, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't at least try it because it's fun. I actually enjoyed, the battle system's very simple,
Yeah.
but it's pleasing. I'd say I thought it was a lot of fun.
It's from the team that did the original Torchlight and Torchlight 2. It's not so
Oh, okay, I didn't know
so
that.
that's the games they made. Then they made Hob, and then that game didn't do very well, and then some other team, some other company bought the license for Torchlight 3. Hence why Torchlight 3 is not very popular. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the game. That was like kind of their swan song game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was a really good game. Just go for it. It goes on sale pretty often, or it's in your Epic library already.
I bought it on Switch again because I've been wanting to play through it again, and I think the Switch would be a good place to play it when I'm traveling.
I preferred playing it on the TV with my PlayStation controller, like most Switch games, because the Switch isn't comfortable to hold or
I don't
play
mind
for
playing
long
it
sessions.
held.
I have pretty big hands, and I don't know, long play sessions with a handheld like that. It just doesn't feel good unless you buy some type of wrap with grips or something like that. So I'd recommend that kind of thing for anybody.
Cool, cool.
Again, I've recommended the controller adapter many times, 8-bit Do.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, no.
Have you played anything else?
Geez, man, I'm always all over the place. I mean, those are really the most noteworthy things. I think on the last podcast I mentioned after talking long about Metroid Dread, beating that, I also went through and finished another Metroid 2 remake, AM2R, that was talked about once upon a time, and 5 minutes later, Nintendo took it down. But there's ways to get it. And well, I would love to play Metroid 2, and there's absolutely no reason for Nintendo not to port. They love porting, but they have Metroid 2 on the 3DS when it should have come to the Switch in the first place.
Mm, okay.
So I would love to play their version of it, but I don't have a 3DS and I never have. And it's probably at this point overpriced, and I bet the copies of games are overpriced. Like everything retro, I think the 3DS is almost retro, so that's probably all expensive and not even worth getting into. So
But
I haven't even looked.
but the weird thing too is you look at these companies like Xbox and PlayStation, they're so quick to port over their last gen games to the new consoles, and
Yeah.
Nintendo again could not give a fuck. You know?
So, well, I don't know about that. Like most Wii U games, almost every Wii U game has been ported to the Switch because the Wii U sucked. But then the
Yeah,
3DS, no games from the 3DS are really coming to the Switch, except for maybe the Mario game, right? Was that Super 3D Mario? I think that
I
was
don't
a
know.
3DS
I
game,
don't
something
know.
like that. But like Metroid, maybe they just didn't sell enough, so they're like, oh, nobody wants that on the Switch. And then they released Dread, and it was like, oh shit, everybody wants this on the Switch.
You
So
know this.
maybe it'll come out again someday.
This is a little off topic, but did you see what came out today in the PSN store?
Uh,
No.
is no, I don't think so.
So there's Blood Rain 1 and 2 revamped.
Oh yeah, I think I saw those on the Switch too. I think they're on the Switch as
There's,
well.
I just like,
It's
what?
wild.
What?
And just looking at the pictures, yeah, the game still looks like butt. I
No,
mean,
I thought.
no,
I mean,
I
I'd play.
loved the games back when they came out, but I don't know.
They look a
It's
little.
hard
They
for
look a
me to go
little.
back to
They look a little
ret-
better. They look a little better.
Yeah, but it's hard. I don't know. I find it difficult to go back to like retro early polygon stuff.
Oh,
Like I don't know, PS2, PS1 is always kind of hard for me to go back to. It is
PS1 is hard. PS2, I don't have.
really
I
hard.
don't have a hard time with.
Not all PS2 games, but some of them like that I don't know. Maybe if I saw a video of it running, it would be better, but again, I'm pretty sure I saw those pictures on the Switch, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just
I
need
don't know
to
if I
take another
ever
look.
finished my PS2 run of Blood Rain. I was streaming that for a while. I don't think I ever beat it. I should
I
finish
don't
that.
think I ever beat one of them. I had both of them. I don't think I ever beat them.
I do have them still.
And there was in like the last 10 years there was like a side-scrolling
Oh yeah,
brawler
the P-
type game that was super fucking hard.
PS3 360. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that game was hard, but it looked really great. and I wish it wasn't quite the caliber of difficulty because you really had to memorize combos,
Well,
fighting combos and stuff
I'm
like that.
curious who has that license because if they're doing this, I'm wondering if they're trying to see if there's any interest in that character to make a sequel.
Yeah. Well, there hasn't been like a vampire game that's come out in a while. Well, I mean, I guess there was like the I think it was what was it just called Vampire?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got it free. Maybe I should try that because I was a huge fan of like Legacy of Kain, and I was buying like Blood Rain and stuff like that back then, and I love that stuff, you know. So I don't know. It'd be kind of nice to see that kind of stuff come back.
right. Yeah, cool. Well, I've also been playing some Game Pass stuff, so I've got like 5 6 hours in on Forza 5. It's a really good game.
I'm thinking of paying the dollar to upgrade to Ultimate for a month or whatever,
So you can get
so
the
I can
cloud.
stream. So I can stream it through the cloud because I've always been interested in the Forza Horizon games because it's like Burnout Paradise, but you know, ongoing.
Kind of, yeah. Burnout Paradise is better, but
I love Burnout Paradise. Yeah, it's one of my favorite arcade racers ever.
I wasn't a big fan of Forza 4, and I think that was mostly because of the setting. I mean, the United Kingdom is a cool place to visit, but like for some reason driving through it is just kind of boring. So being in Mexico is such a better. You got the jungle, you got sand dunes, you got it's just a brighter looking, more inviting place to be. And so Forza 5 is clicking with me where Forza 4 wasn't. And so I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't really like the packaging of the game. The I don't know. It's just
You've never been a fan of the whole festival concept.
nah. It's just like it's stupid, and I don't know. I'd rather have a. I don't know. I don't understand why certain games get shit on for having goofy storylines, but Forza has one of the stupidest storyline festival plots ever, and it's loved. So
Maybe it's because they stick to it, and you know they
you
just
have
go
nothing.
with it in every
You're
iteration.
just
You
stuck with
know,
it, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
maybe like the first one, maybe people just kind of made fun of it, and the second one, like, hey, they're just running with it, cool, and then they just kept on moving.
I
So,
guess. I
I
guess.
mean, after a while, there's just a familiarity.
I think people. I don't know. I have nothing against the game. I just don't think it's the greatest racing arcade racing game ever. But I am enjoying this one more than the previous ones. The one other the weird funny thing I like to like it's an open world racing game, and I know it's in a different setting, but when you open up the map itself just feels like the last map from Forza 4 or Forza 3, and I just you open it up and it's like this looks no different, and it has way too much stuff. I mean, you never run out of things to do in this game. It's like holy moly, there's just a million. I mean, if Ubisoft is guilty of like go here and do this marks, I mean, this game is that. Like, there's just nonstop stuff you are going to do or collect. It's just like holy moly. But it's a
Yeah,
driving game, so that's the point, right? You drive here to there, you do it. So which is fine. But it handles well. Looks beautiful. I mean, I'm just running at high settings on my PC, so I mean, it can go way higher than my PC. The odd thing I thought was funny is that Forza 5 runs way better on high than Forza 4 ran at like medium to high settings. So
yeah,
it's way
that is
more.
interesting.
It's way more fine tuned than the previous game, I guess. I don't know. Um,
Did you play Horizon 4 on your current setup?
uh huh. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting.
I played it on my other previous setup where it barely kind of ran, and then I played it on this one for sure. And then I thought maybe that was the issue because it was just, but it's just that version is just not that exciting to me. This one's way more exciting. I enjoy it way more. Um,
Yeah.
but it was not, you know, I like it. It's like a solid 8 for me. That's where it is. It's a solid
Okay.
8 of a
Hey,
racing game.
that's still a really good
It's really
game.
good. Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Eight. Yeah, eights are solid.
And then another little racing game I came across on Game Pass was this little game called Art of Rally, and that I've fallen in love with. It's a really simple little indie rally game, but I dig it, and it's hard to explain. But it's a really simplistic graphics. It's kind of top down. It's got this really kind of exaggerated physics of drifting, and the music is awesome, and I've fallen in love with that game. So I've put probably like 4 hours into that, maybe.
Yeah,
So
I'll have to try some more of it. Like I when we were chatting last time, I installed it and started running it on this PC, and it actually runs on older PCs.
oh, that's good.
So I just need to make sure to hook my controller up before I start the game and give it a go.
So it's the team that makes it. Well, it was just usually originally one guy, and he made this other game called Absolute Drift that's available on everything, and it's a
Yeah.
drifting game. And I played that and beat that, and really enjoyed that. And then this game, I found out it came out, and then he hired a few more people on to help him make the game. So it's kind of that same engine, but kind of taken bigger into this. And it's kind of a love letter to rally. So you have all these like old rally cars, but they're not exactly the originals because he's not. They're not licensed cars, but they look like it's like it's not called a Mini Cooper, but it looks like a Mini Cooper. That kind of type of stuff. But I don't know. I just dig it. Art of Rally. It's also on Game Pass. Man, I mean, buying getting 3 months for $1. You gotta you know download the games. I played a little bit of Back for Blood, and that just feels like Left 4 Dead to me. So I don't know how much I'll play that, but if you do the streaming thing, maybe we can do some of that. Um, and then I loaded up Scarlet Nexus,
Oh yeah.
and
That game looks interesting, yeah.
it's it doesn't have the same combat as Astral Chain, but the game reminds me of Astral Chain. It's that kind of RPG, Japanese anime
Oh, okay.
action attack, and
Yeah.
then it's that kind of game to me. So I mean, if I've completed Forza, and I'm probably gonna play the Halo Infinite campaign when that drops in December. So if I've gotten all that stuff done, I might jump into Scarlet Nexus and try and
Yeah,
beat
I'm
it.
I'm I'm thinking like I'm gonna wait until December to do my ultimate upgrade for $1 and
So for the
do
Halo,
the Halo campaign, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
cool.
is the multiplayer free? I think it's free to
Oh, the
play,
Halo,
like the
the
multiplayer.
multiplayer is free to play, so you can, right
Yeah.
now.
Are you gonna try that?
No,
I mean, you're not really into that.
I'll try it. I'll try it when I play. I don't want to install that right now. I'll when the main campaign drops, I'll install Halo, and then I'll try the multiplayer, and then if I don't want it, I'll just blah. But
Yeah, well, and I read earlier that you played a little bit of your definite game of the year, since it's a contender for
we
some
could talk
reason.
about it. I don't want to really shit on the game. I mean,
Oh, I
the
know,
game
I
is
know. I
well
know.
made. It looks
M-
like a good game on
m- m-
Switch. I just
Metroid Dread, folks.
Metroid Dread. It looks. I'm just a little taken aback that somehow this game is $60 and Metroid Prime will also be $60. I just that fathom to me that gap is because the game is just. I mean, you spend like the first what I don't know how reading these like paragraphs about the past of like catching up on the story, and it's just like this is so kind of what is this? You can't figure out a better way to do this? I don't know. It just and then it's fine. I don't know. It's fine. It's just doesn't. I'm gonna play it some more. I'm at least put an hour or two into it, but I'm not gonna probably not gonna stick with it. It
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Metroid, but I don't think it's game of the year territory. I mean, there's a lot of really great games that came out this year that are 10 times better than that. But
it
I
just
know
seems like it was like a
that's weird.
we need to get something out there because we're not Prime's never coming and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
somehow it gets Game of the Year nomination. It's just like wow, that's rich.
Fresh on people's minds, I guess.
I
It's
mean,
pretty bizarre.
I wouldn't have complained if Forza Horizon 5 got game of the, like nomination, but then they never nominate racing games
Yeah.
for Game of the Year. So that's kind of like shitty, but I mean, I think that game deserves to be on that list, but oh well. Anyway,
Yeah.
just a little side note, I did play the Radiohead Kid A Amnesiac exhibition thing where you kind of walk around and listen to their music and
Yeah, that just came out today, right?
came out today. It's
That's
free
the 18th of November.
free on PC, Mac, and PlayStation 5. Um, you just kind of walk around and you listen to some like music of Radiohead and you experience all the art. There's some kind of puzzly things in it, not super puzzly, but kind of puzzly. Um, I don't know. It's cool. It's an experience. If you like Radiohead, I'd recommend it. If you're not really into Radiohead, pass on it. But
I'll probably check it out this weekend. How long does it take to go through?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, if you're really looking at stuff, maybe an hour. If you just run through it,
Okay,
maybe
cool. And
shorter.
that's on the Epic Game Store, so that's the easiest place to get it for PC, of course. I don't know if they had it on any of the other stores. Probably not.
Um,
You said Epic made it?
Epic. It's an Epic Game Store. So I don't think it's on Steam. I think you get it on
Yeah,
Epic's Game Store. I mean, maybe you can get it on Steam, but I don't think so.
maybe.
And then obviously it's on
I,
PSN. So,
yeah.
but it's there's some really cool I really loved how they did the credits at the end. I was really impressed by that, and I thought, man, that'd be cool to have that in a game. So I won't ruin it for anybody, because I thought it was cool, but um, and maybe a game's done it that way, but not to my recollection. But
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll see.
any other games, Jared, that you want to talk about?
I tried playing Death's Door because I'm super interested in that, but my computer won't play it. It's coming, but it's been announced. It's coming to PlayStation, and it'll be a little easier to play. I
Cool.
think it's also coming to Switch.
Oh, is it?
So
Okay.
kind of all over the place. I also tried the latest Ori, and that doesn't work on my PC, so I have to buy it on Switch
You gotta get
someday.
that cloud streaming thing going, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't need another subscription is the problem. I have so many, but
I guess you could
I
kill
guess
one.
in turn, like $15 a month, or I could spend $30 on the game. It's
Right? I mean, think about that. If
yeah,
you spend 15, even if you spent $15 like in December, you're getting Halo Infinite, Forza
yeah.
5. I mean, those are like
That's a
that's a
that's a
lot of
banger deal.
that's a
Yeah,
banger deal. So, but yeah. Oh, I did just quickly. I also played. I installed that Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning.
yeah. I keep thinking about installing that because I loved that game
That's a
when it
great
came out.
game. It's still. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
obviously looks dated a bit,
yeah.
but man, it still plays really well. And I was like, and I don't. I'm not gonna play through this, but I was
No.
like, man, I got a couple trophies, and it was like I was starting to feel like, oh man, I should just go. And I was like, no, I have other things to play.
Yeah. Well, like, let's see. I've started replaying Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm like 2 hours into that.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, like that's just kind of like my just lounging and relaxing game right now. Like when I'm not playing that. Uh, Speaking of lounging and relaxing game, you want to know what I started playing again?
What?
I'm. I think I'm going to finally platinum this year. Rayman Legends.
Oh, what?
I'm doing the dailies and I'm having a great time.
Oh man, how long is that gonna
For
take you?
a month and a half, 2 months.
Fun.
Yeah, but I mean, just like I don't know, 15 minutes or less a day, depending. Because I try and go for the gold trophies. Because even spending an extra, few minutes on each one of them will save me days.
That's
Because
maddening.
the silver ones are like 10 points and the gold ones are 50 points. So it's like, okay, I guess I better do that.
What made you decide to do this?
Well, my 2-year-old, I played one of the music levels for her on YouTube.
The
It's
Ram
in
Jam one, or whatever.
It's the
Black Betty.
glue
Oh,
song.
oh,
But the Black Betty one, she likes that one too. But the music levels in that game are so good. She saw that I installed the game and she wanted me to play the level.
oh.
And because I've shown her videos on YouTube of all the different ones, even the crazy 8-bit ones that go fucking nuts. So she wanted me to play all those, and I'm like, oh man, this game's so good. I miss that game.
Are you surprised they
And
haven't made a sequel to that game?
I am because I don't know, like when I'm doing the dailies, it's showing like I'm number 24,000 out of like 8 million. Like they sold a lot of copies. I think that's just on the PlayStation 4
Uh huh.
specifically, like almost 8 million users
Yeah, I feel like that
that
game
have
did
registered
well.
it online. And then it came out to other consoles as well. So I mean that game just destroyed. But it makes me think like that Ubi art system they used for a long time.
Hmm.
for a lot of games they used Ubi art was that graphic style, and after Rayman Legends it just went away. It's like they gave up on it and like, nah, we're just doing Far Cry and big games now. Sorry, we're doing the same old thing.
Right.
Like they haven't done a small game for a while that I can even think of.
No, not.
Well, I mean, I guess they do like the Mario and Rabbids and stuff like that. Maybe that contract with Nintendo is keeping them too busy to do stuff like that. I don't know.
No, maybe.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same team that's working on that stuff, but I miss that UbiArt engine because it's such a beautiful engine, and that game is still just looks so wonderful. And it came out a long time ago. That's one of the first games I bought for my PS4, and it still holds up, and it's still one of my favorite platformers of all time. It's such a fantastic game.
And it's not like that stuff's not selling. I mean, Crash Bandicoot 4 was a really big success for PlayStation. So, I mean, I don't think like those kind of difficult, kind of platforming games are not wanted. So, it's curious why they haven't made a sequel.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
cool. That's cool.
yeah. So I started playing that, but I still have like 1,200 more points I have to get. So like if I get a bronze, I have to redo it because like 1 point doesn't go very far.
Right. Cool. Well, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. We could do some couch co-optionals if you've got any optionally things you'd like to talk about.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah. Tomorrow on Amazon Prime, I've been excited about The Wheel of Time is
Oh,
coming to Amazon Prime, and that's a book series. I read a couple of the books when I was younger, and I've always wanted to finish them. There's like 12 or 13 books now. I think it ended. I don't think they're making any more. But The Wheel of Time is gonna start streaming tomorrow, the 19th of November, on Amazon Prime.
cool.
So yeah. I hope they did a good job. I'm really interested in it.
Sweet. What am I going to recommend? I'm gonna recommend the last James Bond movie, No Time to Die. I really enjoyed that. Uh, uh, I think it's I think it's been kind of dependent on what kind of James Bond fans you are, but I think if you are a lover of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, that movie has a lot of Easter eggs in No Time to Die. So I was a really big fan of this movie, and it hit me in a lot of special places because of my fandom towards On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So I'm gonna recommend James Bond. And I'm
Cool.
excited to see where the series goes now that Craig is leaving. So
Did you are you all about Dwayne Johnson being the next Bond?
that's not
He
gonna
really
happen.
wants to be.
That's not gonna happen.
He really wants it.
No, I saw that movie, The Red Notice, on Netflix. Mm, mm, Probably pass on Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
He can be
Yeah.
president. He can't be James Bond. All right, I guess we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
let's do
good.
that. I want to thank everyone for listening. And I want to thank Jarrod for joining me here on the couch.
Always.
Remind everybody to leave feedback on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're at Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no
No
hyphen.
hyphen.
Please, check, subscribe to us, leave us an iTunes review. That is, I don't know, people haven't done it in a very long time. Spotify, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, Amazon, whatever the Amazon podcasting thing is. We're everywhere. You can find us everywhere. What else we got going on? I guess that's it.
Yeah. Be excellent to each other.
Yeah. And we'll be back not a long time from now, but probably not super soon. It's the holidays, so
Yeah, it's a pretty busy season to play a lot of games. I mean, maybe this weekend I'll beat one of the Mario games or something like that. But I mean, what? So Mario saved the princess. Is that all you can really say about it? Like, oh, there's the story. Here's the same story again.
hey,
Oh, how did he lose the princess this time?
hey, if I roll credits on Forza Horizon 5 in the next week or so, I will record an episode, even if no one else is with me. So that way I'll talk about that game more in depth in my final verdict on the game. But
Great.
anywho, yeah, let's get out of here. Just be excellent to each other, everybody.
Doodle doop doop doo.
Where's the out? Oh, here it is.
Co-op. Couch Co-op.